Good evening, everyone, and welcome to CoSM's June full moon ceremony. I'm Alexis Spatty, coming to you live from the Great Hall of Entheon, Sanctuary of Visionary Art. How's everybody doing tonight? You good? Very good, very good. Love to see it. Tonight, we gather beneath the radiant glow of the moon to celebrate CoSM's June theme, the light body. An exploration of our luminous essence, the subtle energy that animates our being and our capacity to awaken to higher states of consciousness. The atmosphere is charged, this community is radiant, and each of you is an essential part of this unfolding journey. Whether you are in the room or tuning in from afar, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. It is my truest honor to welcome the visionary stewards of this sacred space, the artists who have made it all possible. Please join me in giving the warmest welcome to the founders of CoSM, Alex Gray and Allyson Gray. Let's hear it for them. Let's go.
Hey, everybody. Happy full moon. Well, here we are at the 280th consecutive in an unbroken chain of full moon ceremonies. We're in our 22nd year of full moon ceremonies. It started, yay, that started in our home in Brooklyn, January of 2003. And we haven't missed a full moon yet. And here we are to celebrate the fullness of the moon.
It seems that it's one of those most delicious times to gather. And I like to think that as the human tribe, that we've done this for eons. You know, it's been natural because it's the brightest night, and if you don't have a flashlight, it's easier to get together, you know? And so, it's been a natural thing. So, we celebrate the light then. It is a celebration of the light to celebrate the full moon, and yet the moon has this mystic quality of, you know, it's not the moon's light necessarily. It's bouncing off like it's a mirror, of course, of the sun's greater light, just like each of us is a sacred mirror reflecting a greater light. So we thought, what a beautiful metaphor, what a beautiful symbol for us to consider our own soul and the light thereof, you know, in a community gathering. And it was more or less for the reason of seeing if anybody wanted to help create or envision a chapel of sacred mirrors.
Well, it was our shaman, Alex Stark, who loved the idea of building a chapel of sacred mirrors. He was an architect and he was Peruvian, and he, you know, just thought we should, you know, go ahead and build our chapel. And so he suggested that we pray. He was the chairman of the prayer committee. Yeah. And so he suggested that we should pray. And in order to do that, we were going to start full moon ceremonies. So that's how it happened. If anybody wants to start something, just start something regularly and keep your word to it. And I'm telling you, the community follows, community comes. So that's what was happening. We're so grateful to you for being here for this 280th full moon. And 280, we often do is we add that number together because it gives us a, you know, identification with a place and time where we, this group, this particular group, probably never to be assembled again. This is the moment where we as a group, are together, and that's the 280th. So 2 plus 8, we add them up. So 2 plus 8 is 10, which is a fabulous number already. It's like 10 digits, 10 commandments. It's a powerfully sacred number. And then you add those together, and you have 1. Well, what could be better than the 1? 1 is the number. How did that happen? How did that happen that tonight is the number 1, that we all can celebrate the 1? We're all one. We're all in unity. It's all about unity, the 1.
It's so beautiful. Yeah. No, it's the
Individual.
perfect. It's it's kind of like in sacred geometry. That's the circle too. So it's another kind of repetition of this idea of the moon's shape of the sphere, in relation to the soul and the oneness that's symbolized
It's the
there.
one-sided figure, Platonic figure. It's the 1. It only has one side.
Well,
But it's also, it's also the high tide of the Spirit. I love it when you say that, the high tide of the Spirit, because it's the fullness. It's the fullest it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, our bodies respond to the moon just like the tides, so there is something pulling on us, and so that gravity of
Because we're 90-something% water.
yeah.
So we're like
Part of the
like
water
the river,
bodies.
the river that flows, the Hudson River, wasn't always called the Hudson River. 400 years ago, Henry Hudson came, changed the name. It was called the Mohicanituk, which meant the great flow that goes both ways, because our river is a very special, rare, tidal river, rare in the world. It flows all the way up to Poughkeepsie, and then it turns around. Look at, he's showing pictures of the food. I love you, TJ. All the way up the river, past just around Poughkeepsie, the next town, big city over here, and then it changes direction. When we used to be in the city, in CoSM on 27th Street, we were exactly the same distance that we are from the Hudson River now. It's just weird, 1,500 feet by the Google map. We were and are but on 27th Street Pier, they have a wheel that goes into the water, and they have times that are posted there on a bench, and you can watch the wheel changing directions, because the entire flow changes directions. It was like a commuter river for the native people, the Wappinger. And they were like a tribe that was scattered from Poughkeepsie down to Manhattan, and they did their trading down there too. It was a great economic boon for them before the white people came, right?
Yeah.
So
it's a moon river.
It's a moon river,
Yeah.
wider than a mile. I'm crossing you in style someday. Now, do you know that? That's our river. That's not like something down the Mississippi. We're talking about the Hudson River, because she wanted to go from New Jersey to New York. She wanted to move to the big city. That's the theme of that movie, where Moon River was the theme. Yeah.
Well,
I love this place.
I
just learn more and more about it. I just love it.
I love that metaphor too. It connects with our community, because we do full moon ceremonies, and it's an interesting zone. So I think a continued relationship like that is so beautiful, and it's meaningful, because I think a church or a temple or a sacred space is often in alignment with a geographical feature, that has a meaning, like they'll build a temple on a mountain, of course, because you have to ascend to get there, and
I know we want to talk about the light, but can I just share one personal thing with you all guys, too, while we're talking about this? And this is that Alex grew up Methodist, and I grew up Jewish, and we've both been studying world religions for our entire 50 years that we've been together. Alex leading the way with Tibetan Buddhism, but us just interested always, going into other sacred spaces because we wanted to create a sacred space. So that's something that's been ongoing for a long time for us. But the idea of creating something where we worship together has to include everybody. You see, it just has to. And art is all about, there's lots of sacred art. It's all about the spirit, really, because it's the spirit of creativity that generates us even wanting to make music, dance, art, all that comes, it's our creative force.
It's the great flow that goes both ways.
As always, infinite ways, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, I'm sorry. I had to digress because I know we probably, all of us, we come from different traditions. Some of them similar, but all of them unique. And we can come together under the moon because everybody gets to appreciate the full moon. The full moon is for everybody. It's not just for, moon worshipers like us. No, we're not moon worshipers. We're moon appreciators, I would say. We appreciate the light.
There might be some worshiping tonight.
Worshiping the light, I don't think that's so terrible. It's pretty universal anyway.
It really is.
All right. Well, anyway, we have this talk about the light and the light body. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, hold on. I just skipped ahead there.
No, don't do that.
I think I want to stay here for a minute.
Me too.
Because, well, it was June 3rd, 1976, 49 years ago, this June, that we melted down into the universal mind lattice.
Together.
And that inspired the sacred mirrors and stuff. And I just wanted to note that. That for...
Thank you. That's so sweet of you. When we do this talk, I just as a brief thing, I know that my work is not about the body. But my body is sensitive to light and is the one that receives all the art and all the, about light and everything about light. But I generate art about light from an inner place. So I have, even though I did all the, the studying of the body and all like Alex did in art school like you do, I gravitated towards the light without the body. But a lot of interest has been about the energy and the light of the body.
It's true. You can come at it from an inner light or from the light that we get from the sun. And so it's equally mysterious, actually. Where did we melt into? It was light. We were a ball of light, a soul light that was connected with every other soul. And the light was love. And I still feel, that there is what is light? Light is really super strange. The physicists can't even hardly describe it, It's like, so I guess Einstein, said it's a particle, and he made up the photon, and he got a Nobel Prize for it, But then, they start measuring it, and it becomes wave-like. And it responds to our measurement of it. Who's looking at it? So this doesn't sound like some rock. It sounds like a force, that we all depend on, and it's all happening all around us, and just a little like consciousness. But let's see. Hey, okay. So I wanted to mention this because we usually think of this, let there be light moment in the universe, whether there was a beginning or not. The scientists like to imagine right now that it was 13.7 billion years ago. Well, 13.8 billion years ago, there was nothing, perhaps. And now we're here. I think it is a miracle to contemplate that. Oh, what's going on? Hello.
I like that.
Oh.
I'll tell you about that some other time.
Oh, this is fascinating. John, are you aware of how everything's... Okay, there we go.
That's a performance that Alex and I do, but I'm not going to mention
I think he's cut that off.
It has to do with the light, but we won't talk about it right now. I wasn't using My microphone. Okay.
Well, let's see. I
Keep
wanted
going.
to talk about the beginning, the great beginning, the Big Bang, because that was what supposedly is at the beginning of our universe. And it took, I think, 500 million years for the light to actually form, because before that it was like invisible plasma supposedly just expanding, and there was no light. So it was the creation of space before it could cool down into light.
One could ask, though.
I mean, I mean, is that any weirder than Genesis? I don't know.
One could ask, though, is there actually light if there's no receiver?
Now you're asking the good questions. Now, okay, so there we go. I love to show this just because of the idea that we're in this infinite web. These are galactic clusters of the, trillions of galaxies that are in the known universe. And all the people who are measuring this stuff think it's a lot bigger than we can measure actually beyond this, but we can't. This is as far as we can see.
But the humor of this image, as an image, is that if this is the shape of the universe,
That's just
what's
a shape
in the
they
black
shaped it.
part? What's
That's
what's
the galaxy.
outside?
That's our Milky Way, babe. That's our Milky Way. You can't see beyond the star field. That's why there's always a blackout. You can't get outside of the Milky Way. So we have something that is
the band in the
obstructing
middle.
us. That's right.
But what is in the black space around that orb? That's an orb, almost like a UFO shape. But what happens beyond there? And that's the question that our mind asks as soon as we see that.
Well, they
a
definitely
discrete
said there is a beyond that, and it's bigger. Yeah.
We just can't map
We just
it.
can't measure it right now. So these are like galactic clusters, and maybe we're all familiar with this kind of web idea that galaxies are connected by dark energy and dark matter. Now, look, I mean, we're the tiniest fleck of consciousness in a galaxy because we're on a planet. It's just a tiny little thing. It's like a speck is contemplating the source of our existence. That's a mighty... Now, Allyson threw this in because just to say, right? It's like the neuronal web is similar to the web, evidently, that scientists have plotted of the galactic clusters. So the micro and the macro web are resonating with each other. How do we know the light? It's only through our nervous system. We're seeing this and creating it and projecting a world out through these infinite interconnecting
Through the
and
style of the
snapping.
creator. It's the style. Look at the style of the creator.
Very Jackson Pollock, I think.
It does reflect, in the
Webby,
macro and the micro.
Yeah. It's like, and so our gigantic, sacred, probably isn't like the Earth and the planets. They might be chunks of the stars and things, And so we're kind of like owe our existence, obviously, to the sun. There wouldn't be any life on Earth if there weren't any sun around, And so it's like so natural that worship of the sun would come about, because they could tell what was real and sacred.
Is this a picture of Katie? Is this Katie? Looks like our meadow.
I know. Hey, Allyson and I found this prayer from Pir Zia, who's an amazing Sufi master that lives in the abode of the messages in Lebanon,
New
New
Lebanon,
York.
New York. Yeah,
Yeah,
not far from
amazing.
here, about an hour.
So I'm going to read this prayer, just and thinking of greeting the sun and seeing the light inside, however you want to think about the light. O God, place light in my heart and light in my soul, light upon my tongue, light in my eyes and ears. Place light at my right, light at my left, light behind me and light before me, light above me and light beneath me. Place light in my nerves and light in my flesh, light in my blood, light in my hair, and light in my skin. Give me light. Increase my light. Make me light. I love that poem. Yeah. So, but, it's like the earliest cave paintings and petroglyphs have solarized figures. This is like the origins of the halo, the idea of the light body, or that we are embodiments of light, has been one of the earliest recognized kinds of things. These are from, I believe, Anasazi kind of
Petroglyphs.
petroglyphs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here, of course, Ra is being worshipped in the Egyptian mysteries, and each of the great traditions really kind of have deities that relate to the major powers and things like that, have these gods, sun gods, basically. Horus was a sun god. And so the idea of the great power of the divine is also wrapped up in the sun. So, but because, I don't know, it's really hard for me to distinguish, we can say we're creatures of light because we eat food, and food is a product of light, we're not going to have any blood and body if we don't have chlorophyll.
That's right.
And
From
so-
the light, I just wanted to say
Yeah.
that early religions started to have many gods. We know this, like God of the sun, God of the, everything was God of different things. And then there was a time in history where the Egyptians, Akhenaten, wanted to change it all and say that there was only one God. And, Abraham had the same epiphany, and, even Muhammad, said that there's no God but Allah. And Muhammad is his messenger. So they called it Allah, but that, and Jews called it Adonai, and, everybody had a different name, Atan. Akhenaten called it Atan. So that is interesting that at some point in history, although the Hindus always had many gods, a pantheon of beautiful and amazing gods. Gotta love it.
They also have an understanding of oneness as well, and unity. And so I think that certainly the circle and the sun and is a perfect
Yes, I love
symbol
that picture,
also.
yeah.
Oh. Well, so yeah, here now the Orthodox traditions celebrate the Transfiguration, kind of like that's the big event where Christ was still alive and manifested the light. And so it was said that, he became so bright, that his disciples were really freaked out. And but
I love this representation where he is emerging from an egg, and the yoni is that shape. The Vesica Pisces is actually, the two-sided Platonic figure. The Vesica Pisces would be like the way circles, overlap each other. But this is the egg a little bit even more suggesting the divine feminine, and I appreciate that.
No, it's really true, but it's also rebirth, spiritual rebirth, the egg, just like all those elements. But it also corresponds to something that clairvoyants were always talking about, which was the aura, And so the halo and the nimbus and things that we see in all of the holy pictures, the Theosophists started to make pictures of. But Charles Leadbeater had this human aura, kind of man visible and invisible. And so you can see the different moods, the emotions make for all of these different shapes and thought forms that roll through our aura. So it's funny.
I love this one.
It's so beautiful.
These are depictions by theosophically inspired artists. And we're going to talk about what the Theosophical Society is about in a minute. But I love the way this is human-centered. And we just beaming the light, if we could just be that, just be that at all times, walking through our life, kind of a spectrum of auras around us and beaming and sucking and blowing out the light, that's... bringing it in.
We see this kind of thing happen with folks we go to a rock show and out comes a performer, and everybody's all lit up, or the Dalai Lama comes into a space. And there's an immediate kind of, or the Pope, that
or a baby walks in the room with your family.
Exactly.
All eyes on baby.
Yeah.
That
Whatever the shining presence is, it comes through. And I love how they're noting it. We ourselves, all the time, our heart is pumping. But what's happening? It's a sinoatrial node in the heart. And it's like a spark plug, It has to fire off in order for the heart to go. So we're constantly, the light is happening every heartbeat, and it sends out a pulse. It's electromagnetic. They use it to measure things. So there's an electromagnetic pulse that is constantly firing in our bodies. And I like to think of, when they measured it, when they I think it was MIT, they shielded the kind of Faraday cage around so to stop all other bombardment of field effects. They put a person inside of this, and they measured the effect of the electromagnetic pulse coming out 8 feet from the body. So, I think, okay, well, if we have this subtle body, somehow it surrounds us, and it's kind of like a amoeba. It has a variable shape, and is in emotions, and all kinds of things are flashing through it. It's got atmosphere, like the aurora. And we can think of it like that because, it's just a clairvoyant will say, yeah, they're seeing stuff happening around our field. So we can imagine that we're here, maybe our hearts are at the level of like a pond. Like think of the surface of a pond, and think of when a rain comes down on the pond and it sends out ripples from each dot that it hits. It's like our hearts are sending interference waves of connectedness to our neighbors.
It's engagement.
It's
a point of engagement,
Exactly.
When rock meets water.
We're
keep going.
in a subtle pool of light.
Yeah.
When we gather.
Here's another view of all the different kinds of auras that have been named. The celestial body, what does that say? The diamond body, causal body, mental body, astral body, etheric body,
Well,
and
I
physical
like
body.
how they distinguish between what's temporary and what's transitional and what's more permanent.
Right.
You know, so there's an incarnating essence that goes from one lifetime to another, but that doesn't have all of the kind of attachments that a previous lifetime of energy might have.
These
But
are beautiful. This is, we also, when we
From
share
Hands
like
of
this, we
Light.
want to, from Hands of Light by Barbara Brennan, we like to share how artists have depicted the light, which is invisible, the invisible light. Artists are painting it since the beginning of time, as we've been seeing, yeah. So there's another egg, theosophical egg.
Yeah, that's more like causal body stuff.
Now,
But-
what is
Well,
the
this is-
attitude here? What do you think?
Yeah, this is some aggressive character. You know,
Right.
this some ICE officer or something. I don't know. There's, you know,
Horrible,
it's kind of
horrible.
like, yeah, no,
Oh.
there's aggressive energy going
Right.
off there, and you can see, like, if you think of like the amoeboid quality of the aura, that it may send off like psychic pseudopods in one direction or another if they intend to do something or something like that.
And
So
now
it's
here
just
you have a couple,
healer.
or healing.
Yeah.
Right, right.
So she's bringing her light into the proximity and bringing the healing light into her
Right.
friend there.
They create a Vesica Pisces, you know, there's like two circles overlapping there where they cross over.
Well, I mean, what happens when you hug somebody you really care about?
You get in their personal space.
There's a field effect.
They
that
let you
happens.
in.
Yeah.
And
Like-
this is an Alex illustration, really. I mean, back in the day, of the aura goggles. And you can play this game, and we'll probably have one up front and let people try it if you want to. But you can, especially on black velvet, it's really good to have like a black velvet surface. But we could get you something black. I have a black jacket or something. But you put them on. Let's see, I think we got some pictures of some people wearing.
God, you're all glowing.
Yeah. But the aura goggles are a little
Yeah.
different than the
Well,
Curlian
I
photography.
did want-
You want to go back?
Yeah, just for
Let's
a second.
do.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
So when you look through these things and you look at a dark surface, because that's the easiest way to do it, then you can start to see a kind of glow around the body here. And you might think, oh, it's just some optical effect of this blue filter or something, you know, that you can see this haze around the body. Maybe it's, you know, some effect of light. But then when you bring your hands together and your fingers approximating each other, then you start to see almost a kind of a light like taffy connecting the fingers. And you can move them, and you can start to see, oh, there's actually something kind of
Oh, let's just do it. Let's just do it, okay?
Well,
Everybody
I don't think
make
you
a
ca-
ball between your hands of energy. Just like, hold on a second, like this. No, not like that. Yeah, you can do that first. That's a good idea. You're right. You're right. And then you feel the ball in between your hands, and you start to feel the resistance, and you see if you can have some resistance to the ball. I've always been convinced of that. I mean, it's an exercise with the rubbing, actually.
Yeah.
It has to start it, but it is a good exercise to see whether you can actually shape
Yeah, you
your
can-
energy or feel the shape of your energy.
You can get into
we
groups
should
and,
move on,
and
honey.
create an energy ball and hand it over to somebody, and they can hand it off.
Curlian photography, that's
Okay.
another way of seeing energy
Right.
that is coming off the body, right?
Yes, and this is electrophotography or Curlian photography of Olga Worrell, who was a great healer, and she demonstrated first hand at rest, second hand was sending healing light out. So you could see that it, you know, a lot more energized and something's going out.
Yeah, and this is another way we know that energy flows through the body. If anybody here has ever had acupuncture, how many people here have ever had acupuncture? Come on, Alex, raise your hand.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, no, no. And I can personally say that it had some very specific and what do you call it? Like measurable results, like a real science. And also, like sometimes when they're doing it to you, they put it in one place and like something like jumps. Has that happened to everybody that's had it? It's so a thing that these channels exist, and somebody figured it out. It's just astonishing, and you see people having it done. But it works for a variety of things, and if you want to talk about that, I'll be here afterwards. It's one of my favorite subjects.
Imagine the research that went into that. How about here?
These are the ancient ways that they put those needles in you. I'm telling you, all kinds of ways.
Yeah, 6,000. It says 6,000 BC. Some of those old needles. It's hard to believe.
So here's the channels, all the channels.
This is cool. Rosalind Breuer, who was an amazing clairvoyant. She said the acupuncture meridians are like about an inch out from the skin, and that they have a kind of a little funnel of light that goes in.
Do you have a picture of that? Let's see.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, we have these people doing
Mantak
Chia and doing all the different exercises that stimulate the
movement of
channels.
energy.
Yeah, the channels. Okay.
Well, this is Vajrasattva, and it was primarily there to show in the Buddhist system as well, and Hindu as well. They have the nimbus around the body, the aura, and the halo as well. And you can see the naked embracing Buddhas up at the top that have a special meaning. The Ati Buddha. It's the
Yes, Yab-yum. That's what they say when the female is sitting in the lap of the male Buddha. Yab-yum is Tibetan for father, mother. And it's a common symbol in Buddhism representing the primordial union of wisdom and compassion. The male deity is in union with the female counterpart sitting on his lap, embodying concepts of interpenetration and the coalescence associated with the vision of Indra's net. I love that, because Indra's net precedes Buddhism. It's a Hindu principle. And these are called the jewel net of Indra. And if you didn't, I think it says it on the tag, but basically, in the abode of Indra is a net that spans infinitely in all directions. And everywhere the net crosses, there's a jewel that's so highly polished that it interreflects all the other jewels in the net. And that is the concept of the jewel net of Indra, and it is implied in this Yab-yum position, which is really a Tibetan Buddhist image, and that you meditate on. So
That's fascinating.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's keep going.
This is like the prana, sort of all our energy connections outside of the body.
The nadis, the channels. Yep.
And a simplified diagram of the Kundalini, the Ida and Pingala, the solar and lunar forces to either side, and then the Sushumna is the central channel there.
It's basically a spiritual exercise, a meditation, as you can obviously imagine, to feel each chakra. I mean, if you're just sitting there for 5 minutes, you could do this. You just feel your bottom chakra, feel your next chakra, feel your next chakra. It's great to know the names of the chakras and the colors of the chakras. That helps you to focus on those chakras. I mean, how do you feel about your solar plexus right now? How do you feel about your throat chakra right now? So anyway, you get the point. But I just thought it's a basic meditation practice. Simple.
And they often will put different deities inside of different energy centers. So these are some of the yoga charts that have been
Right.
used in
What
Hinduism. Yeah.
artists have used to teach, that exercise. And this, which is
Well,
behind
it's here
you.
in the room, but just because it's relatable with the halo and the nimbus and the chakras, and it's been my interest to put together these various, different kind of approaches, the Eastern and Western approaches to the body in medicine, in order to have a more holistic picture of the light body.
Well, I would like to pronounce the title of the painting as a prayer, as a meditation, let's say. Theologue, the union of human and divine consciousness, weaving the fabric of space and time in which the self and its surroundings are embedded. It's a poem. It's poetry. Now, this Theosophical Society was co-founded by Henry Alcott, its first president, along with renowned mystic Helena Blavatsky, sharing the conviction that a knowledge of God may be achieved through spiritual ecstasy, direct intuition, or interpersonal relationships with extraordinary, spiritually adept individuals. I just loved that. I thought that was great. That really, puts it into a capsule.
Very succinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Off we go.
Well,
these
these
are
were
images here.
diagrams of the chakras.
That's right.
And they were trying to portray the subtle body, just
Right.
early kind of mapping.
Very
thereof.
solid
And
looking,
to-
though. Don't you think they could be carved in
Well,
marble?
they were supposed to be cones of light. Each one of those were little vortexes, see?
They look more like nipples, though.
Well, you gotta have a point.
Well, I think that this is the way someone saw it.
With a-
That's what's so fascinating. When Alex saw the universal mind lattice, I saw a field of, these pieces I call order, fields of the jewel net of Indra, you know what I mean? But we were seeing the same thing. We were drawing the same thing. It was so weird. So it comes out differently for different artists. It's so amazing. These are wonderful. But the cymatics.
They have relationship, really. The reason that cymatics comes into the picture is that mantra and sound quite often is involved in, toning to the different energy centers. And so cymatics, now probably well known by many of us, is the effect that sound can have on fluid or on substance and things. And so, like the patterns of sand, and vibration to different levels of vibration are going to affect it in different ways. So the structure of things seems to be dramatically affected by sound.
Yeah. I like to just tell you what interested me about cymatics from the Greek meaning wave. It is a vibrational phenomenon developed by Hans Jenny, who lived from 1904 to 1972 and was a Swiss follower of anthroposophy, a spiritual movement founded by esotericist Rudolf Steiner, who many of us have heard of, who lived from 1861 to 1925, who looked to the natural world for answers that optimize physical, mental, and spiritual well-being.
Well, I love that.
The
thing about Rudolph was that he wanted Jesus into the mix, and the Theosophists wouldn't have it really, and so he had to form anthroposophy rather than
Anthroposophy,
theosophy.
exactly.
So that was an early kind of
Okay, so here we go.
bifurcation of
On
theosophy.
we go. And this is some of the wonderful patterns. My God, you could get so much from this. It's like, it's art in itself, but you could also paint it. Paracelsus, I love Paracelsus, who lived in, the turn of the 14th to the 15th century. He was a Swiss alchemist who pioneered the use of minerals and chemicals, seeking medicinal uses. A Renaissance researcher of the life energy, Paracelsus called the invisible force of life munya, describing it as an egg-shaped aura emanating from the body. Paracelsus treated patients with magnets, experimenting with the relationship of magnetism and life energy.
So cool.
Go on.
Yeah. And Mesmer.
Frostwind. You tell us about him.
Yeah, talked about animal magnetism. That was, and it was thought to be the beginning of suggestion and hypnosis and things, but also the idea of laying on of hands, which has come down through Christ. This was the way he would send the healing light. He was the medium for the light that would heal. So.
There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are. Robert Flood.
Robert Flood. I love these alchemical diagrams. It just allows us to imagine different realms of light, both inner and outer. And this was kind of him diagramming the imagination, like there's different thought forms going on.
I just want to
like
say
a
that
Rube Goldberg machine.
for those of you who didn't know this, all the bathrooms in Entheon, 7 of them, are decorated with different artists. They basically are dedicated to different artists. And there is a bathroom that has alchemical diagrams that includes a diagram by Robert Flood. Not an original. These are all prints and everything, and they're on the wall.
It's on the second floor.
It's on the second floor. Anyway, check them out. They're really fun. All right, so here we go. And you can read
I
this.
think this is just like an image from the Energy Body or Subtle Body, a book about, and this was like some guy named Babbitt's vision of the energy fields around the head. And you have to imagine that this is probably the origins of the halo in some ways, is, there is a lot of energy going on.
Around the head.
Activated around the head. Yeah.
There we go.
And this is kind of a diagram that connects both the planets and the chakras together in a 19th century diagram. Okay.
Now, we showed you the aura goggles.
Aura goggles,
There's a few
okay.
other aura goggles, but this is the odic force.
This is kind of what it looks like. It's very subtle. If you look on a dark surface, it's just very, very subtle around it. Yeah. And this guy, George Cryle, is from Cleveland, but he was like a medical researcher, and he discovered the charge on the cell was different in nucleus and cytoplasm. So it argues for, the creation of kind of a battery, plus minus kind of thing that's going on. And when you die, of course, that goes away. Now, what we see right there, those kind of green kind of web that's inside of there, that's called the cytoskeletal structure. Those are microtubules that they never knew existed inside of the cells because they disappear pretty much at death. And they're like protein bridges of life, that connect the outside wall to the nucleus and form like a mycelium inside of the cell. Of each one of our cells is communicating, with the light, just incredible.
Constantly, like down to the core. Yes.
And let's see, this guy was from Yale, Harold Saxton Burr, and he just likened the how our bodies grow within a field, within an energy field. And so he likened it actually to a magnet, and that the field comes first and the cells grow around the field. Like here, yeah.
There we are.
So it gives you the idea that this is, how do the cells know? There's an overarching structure to his understanding that helps lay that foundation.
Beautiful art of, somebody's rendition of the light body.
Extraordinary.
Yeah. And Robert Becker,
Yeah.
who regenerated limbs with electricity, with currents.
He worked at the VA hospital.
Yeah.
And was trying to, think of a way that he could help poor soldiers regrow limbs and things like that.
At least he was doing that research. It's So this shows the Curlian photography. The one on the left is a finger, tip, and the one on the right is the phantom leaf effect. It's like the leaf has been cut off, and there is energy. Like people talk about the phantom limb effect. I think we've all heard of that, where people lose a limb and they can still feel that it's there. Well, this is a Curlian photograph of the leaf, in its full. Here's a leaf in its full glory.
I like those leaves.
We like this leaf. I couldn't believe it. I was, you can find these images. These are wonderful. But anyway, people's portrayal of the radiance of the auras of the body.
I love that this was 1896, but I'd be, really
Look at
proud
that.
of it in any painter, that would do it today. It's
So
really
contemporary,
beautiful.
yeah. And thought forms.
I love this because it's like, here's the shape of the music that's coming out of the cathedral there. And maybe it's the assembly of spirits and spiritual energy. It's, look, we're all here. The building has an aura. It's a combination of all of us subtly. It's this tonight.
These were
It's really
theosophists,
beautiful.
right, Alex?
Huh?
These were theosophists,
Yeah. Thought forms.
Annie
A beautiful
Besant
book.
and C.W. Leadbeater.
Well, that was 1905, and do you see how
I want to get through all these paintings
sure.
and get to yours and
we
mine.
gotta-
So
yeah,
we have some
we gotta
paintings
go.
to do.
Okay.
We wanted to show you some.
Glad day.
We wanted to show you some of our favorite, and really so few. You have to come back and to more talks. But these are the people whose paintings really show the light body. William Blake
William Blake. Here's somebody passing on.
passed away. Look at the
Here-
triangle there.
There goes the
It's
light.
amazing.
Yep. And Jean Delville, just like lovers in the light. Beautiful. Ethel Lee Rosenthal, a British psychic who's displaying all these chakras and really lit up here in the 1920s. And hardly known at all, but an
Painted
amazing.
clairvoyantly,
Yeah.
according to her. Yeah.
Yeah, and this was a guy just discovered, Grant Wallace, and the psychic radio. I love that.
I do love this. Yeah.
Oh my God!
And
Yeah,
one of our
Matty
favorite
Carwine.
guys, Matty Carwine, we got to know him.
Astral
and
Body Awake. It's
Yeah.
called. Mm-hmm. And
Judy Chicago. Judy
She's in the
Chicago
show.
is represented downstairs in the All One Gallery. Very, very renowned artist, and she's all about the light, abstract. And there we go, Mars One, Android Jones, Autumn
Sky, one of our favorite artists who's here tonight.
Anybody here in Autumn Sky's workshop? Oh yeah. Thank you so much for being here. That's so great. Well, there she is. And Amanda Sage, there she is. She'll be back too. So Blake Foster, he is.
Don't you love that? That was a recent one. I saw him working on that at the Eclipse. Really quite an extraordinary piece.
He has a collaboration in the gallery in the Gray House. When you go in there, take a look at the gallery where we see an original Blake Foster and
Jonathan
Salter combo. Yeah, beautiful. Okay, and there you are.
Okay, yeah.
Say something quick about this.
All right. Well, we're cosmic energy, as mediums. This is basically what's powering us, and we're little shards of that light. Here. Okay. Yeah. Hello.
There's one you may not have seen.
Yeah.
This one, and this one you maybe not have. Well, you may have seen it in Alex's books. That's the family.
The light unites.
The light
Yeah.
unites, yeah. And there he is painting. You see that downstairs.
Light comes through.
Yeah, the light that you create from, that comes out of your brain. And okay, well, it doesn't want to go anywhere. Oh, no, wait. I want to just go back and say the pain body. I selected this one for Alex. It's his painting, but I just had to say it's not all, glowing and light. There's the pain body, too. And there's the healer. the person who heals. And there's the connection between the nature and
Energy fields of the different trees, and any living thing will have an energy field.
our relationship to the all.
The planet,
Yeah, the planet.
there's the great field, and sacred mirrors, just uniting of those different systems, psychic energy system, and
There you go.
then
You've seen it.
transitioning
You
to the
love it.
spiritual energy system, and then the universal mind lattice.
Yeah, that was experiential. Well, I just wanted to say, I was noticing that, the question I'm asked the most, and I've been looking through all of my, Ask Allyson questions since 2009. I'm really going deep. The question I'm asked the most is, what does the secret writing mean, and what are the secret letters all about? So I'm just going to do that really quick right here. That is that, after tripping, I started tripping when I was in 1969, and after about 3 years of tripping in all different kinds of ways and doing a lot of experimenting, like some of us have done, I decided I chose to have a very unique experience and go into my dark room by myself and take a great dose of, LSD. And it was then that I saw secret writing washing all over my body and all through the air, all over the surfaces of everything. And I heard a voice that said, "This is what some people call God." And it resonated with me so deeply because growing up Jewish, everything, and many religions, everything comes through symbols, everything comes through reading, everything comes through the oral word, which is, also symbols coming out of your mouth. Anyway, it felt like I had to change my life, and I did. I had to change the life I was living and find a place to learn to meditate. This is what Ram Dass advised in his book, Be Here Now, and I took it seriously, and I started meditating when I was 19. So I became a spiritual person. So that's what this is representing to me. And I've just, I've just listened to the psychedelic voice all through my life in every choice that I make about painting, because painting has become my meditation. So when I'm painting, I'm meditating. I'm going. So anyway, you've seen these pieces. This was the top. If you were flying above the universal mind lattice and you were looking down the funnel, that's what I was painting. It was just, we were in the same place. We drew the same, sort of pencil drawings after the experience. But anyway, chaos. What is chaos all about? Well, there are systems and there are cells, there are waves and there are particles. The material world is made of that, and it's inevitable entropy. It's all falling apart all the time. The beautiful falling apart of all the cells and systems. That's the material world. So that was my symbol that I created to represent the material world. Chaos. That's chaos. This is order. Order is looking out at the vast vista of fountains and drains of energy all interconnecting in a great net that stretches everywhere and is the energy that animates and that is at the core of all beings and things. Even granite has a consciousness, So anyway, it's flowing through it all, and that is the unity that I call order. So everything, I was told psychedelically that everything was either chaos, material world, order, bliss, or secret writing, the symbols that our mind makes into things, our thoughts that we make into things, like paintings, like that. So anyway, this is the one in many. Everything in 45 years of my work was made of that left-hand side of 100 square units. So it's all about the systems and the cells. This piece is, you can see it tonight on the second floor of, it's an ink drawing, but it became the wallpaper in the room downstairs. This is my light body. This is my rendition of the light body. It's chaos because it's in the material world, and it is human. It has human form. They're like, they're my light body people, and the yogi. These are the people. The only figurative art I've really made in the last 50 years. So, anyway, well, very good. Oh, and this is one. I'd love you to see this. This is in the Gray House. This is a new stuff that I've been doing since COVID, really, and it's I call this spectral rain. So you got the spectral rain, which is this algorithm that I made up of these streams of spectrums, and then over that you have these dancing little crosses, these little iridescent crosses. So anyway, take a look at this. This is the monad in its nature field, the X in a cross field. That's who we are. We are the X. And the cross field is everything and everybody else. That's us. That's the basics. Okay. But what we really got you here tonight to talk about after all that. No, this is why we came, was to pray for the Chapel of Sacred Mirrors. Here it is. This is the Entheon exterior.
Yeah, the vision of Entheon here. I just wanted to acknowledge your work there, Allyson, and say how beautiful, the.
I just want to say that Jackson Pollock said, abstract art is abstract. It confronts you, and I love that. But the way it confronts you is that you don't know what you're looking at sometimes. So I'm glad, thank you for letting me say a little something.
Well, the thing that unites our work, we like to say, is transcendental light. And so you could see light in all of its spectrum there, full spectrum there. And so Entheon, many have seen this picture. You know what we're trying to do. We're trying to put the faces and all the sculptural detailing all over this building. We want to convert, basically, the building into a big head with 30 faces.
30 faces.
See, it will be one head. Now, Plotinus had a weird, a beautiful evocation that I wish I could, I had before, to talk to you, but it was basically, he said, all of us are facing the outside and don't realize that we're one. If we could turn around all of a sudden, but we're facing out, but we're connected to one head. And he said, if we could turn around and see ourselves, we would see the one, And
this is Plotinus. I mean, we're talking long time ago.
4th century. But at any rate, we found that after we designed the building, but it sounds so cool, and it's really what kind of the design is about, because there's little features of different spiritual paths over each sort of eye. And so they represent the different traditions, the paths, as one great being.
Do we have more pictures? Let's see.
Okay.
Well, this is something. I'd love to
be
see this, 22 feet high or something like that. That's about 22 feet of it right there. It's about half. But anyway, there's the back. If you haven't seen the patio, it's really beautiful. It's around back. You can probably see it in the moonlight tonight. And but anyway, that's the back, and that's the show.
Right. Well, we got the steeplehead and we got the soulbirds so far, and we're working
and the doors.
on the other, and we have drawings going from the engineer, and he said by the end of the summer we should have quotes on how much people believe that this thing might cost, because without actual costs and construction crews who are willing to do it, people who know what they're doing and how they're going to do it, we'll have those numbers at the end of the summer. So we're just updating you and telling you that we're trying to, start raising some money. We've got.
I'm going to spill the beans right here because you guys are all here and you're the ones that care. And I just wanted to say that even though our campaign to raise money has just begun, we have raised $300,000. So we have an account in which, yeah, and so we have an account which has started. We have engineers, New York City hotshots that love this project because they've never done a sculpted building. They've been doing New York City ornamental concrete detail from the 1800s and stuff to repair. They've never done anything like this, and so they are excited about it. We meet with them every couple of weeks, and they're working on the drawings that we're going to share with you at another time. But we're very excited about this, and we want everybody to know that this is so that we can have a legacy of our community, of our spiritual creative life. This is what brought us to a spiritual life, and that's true we just found that it was true for a lot of other people. And we keep hearing about that. Every time we have one of these full moons, we have people who come together and talk about how this was really the birth of many of our, because I like Judaism, it was cool, but I didn't know God, and so I like it even more. So what? You know what I mean? We all can be who we are and just accept each other and be a unity and be a people. And we want, we say the inevitable consequence of love. And we're talking about the love of this people that came here and are on that screen somewhere out there in the world tonight. The inevitable consequence of that love is the building of a temple. Because you just don't know what to do. You just want to create something together. Well, that's the way we felt, and that's the way we feel. So, I'll stop, for God's sake.
Thank you, Allyson. You inspired the Sacred Mirrors, and so I think it's been miraculous, like what's come about, we're sitting in a space that we were praying for, like a full moon ceremony. This is the result of a full moon ceremony from 22 years ago and continuous. So there's been a continuous flow, the great flow that goes both ways of community, from all over the world, really. Where's a different country that people are... Is somebody from a foreign country who's here tonight?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shout it out. Shout it out.
Well, where are you from?
Latvia. Argentina. What? Colombia. France. Canada. Uzbekistan. Wow.
This is so beautiful. This is like you found your way here. Do
we have any neighbors? Anybody from next door? Okay, where? Say, Wappingers.
Yay.
Who else from Wappinger? Anybody else? Hopewell Junction. Well, oh, you guys. They're Wappinger. Yeah. You see? Beacon. Woo! See, it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah.
It's happening.
This is the way Spirit's doing it now. Thank you. Thank you for being temple builders. Coming here tonight is support for this operation.
Everything goes to that. So
thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We have a little more that we're going to do. So we have to turn it over. Where's Alexa? No.
We have
What do we have to
music by Chris Ames,
Okay.
who's here
There she is.
tonight,
There
to do a special performance.
Okay.
So welcome up.
Yay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Chris Ames is from Beacon. I am from Beacon. Yes, you are. Yeah. I love that.
Let me hook myself up here. How's everybody doing?
So good.
First of all, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. It was absolutely moving, yeah, and I'm just so grateful to be here, not only just with you two, but with everybody in this room. Again, it's really about collaboration and community, and it's incredibly important all the time, but especially right now, right?
Oh, yeah.
There we go. All right. So I'm going to sing 2 songs for you tonight, and they're both originals. And one of the things that I'm incredibly passionate about is just creativity in general, and maybe not in the way that you would necessarily think right off the bat. One thing that I really think has kind of happened within our world culture is that I think the idea of creativity has been kind of taken over by a capitalistic sense of creativity, in the sense that we make something to then give to somebody else to consume. And creativity is so much deeper than that, and simpler, because we're doing it right now. I think of creativity as just putting something new into an empty space. And really, what's the biggest empty space? The future, right? It's the biggest canvas. Our lives are our biggest art project, and we're all collaborating on that in every moment. So I think just being more mindful of how we're collaborating in that, we can realize that we've always had tons of power and not feel like we're a victim of our circumstance, because we have a say. So just that to say, I'm leading into this first song, is kind of about transformation and just kind of being on the precipice of the future. And it's called Wings. I'm on the edge, looking out through a veil of rain, arms reaching for faith that I belong to brighter days. See the green earth far below, all the dreams I've still to grow might be right on the edge, for all I know. Let these tired wings fly, let the north wind guide them right, a new day on the rise. Guess we all land right on time. I'm only a man, I've got new lines upon my face, some born from mistakes, but none I would ever trade, though years have come to show I still have miles left to go, 'cause I'm right on the edge of all I know. Let these tired wings fly, let the north wind guide them right, a new day on the rise. Guess we all land right on time. Take a chance, the morning light it calls. Take a chance, imagine how you'll fly, not how you'll fall. Take a chance, just take a chance and let these tired wings fly. Let the north wind guide them right, a new day on the rise. so much. Thank you. Thank you. So, thank you so much. So this next song, this is the last song, and it's more of a lullaby, but it's kind of a weird story that goes into it. So I came up with the melody maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and sometimes just songs take a long time to come to fruition. But I had the melody in my head for a long time, and I came up with this thought of life as being kind of like a song. I mean, it's vibration and sound, and I was on the train the very next day after I started thinking of that, and there was a guy that was walking through the middle of the train, and he was kind of just randomly talking to people and kind of talking to himself, and he suddenly stopped when he walked right in front of me, and he looked at me, and he turned and he said, "Life is a song." And that's exactly what I've been thinking. And sometimes life is weird like that. Those things just show up, right? So I was like, oh, I have to do something with this. So I decided to kind of write this lullaby centered on that idea. So this is a song called "A Song," and you can also hear it on Spotify and all of that stuff too. Some nights get so loud that I can barely sleep. My soul more lost than found. I got my head locked up in the sound, my voice barely breaking through. Have you ever felt that too? Think I can fight the noise in my mind, but the more I do, I realize there's grace within the flow, and blue notes have their place in the whole. Whole life is her song, and I wanna sing. I'm holding space for you tonight. Don't be afraid to share what's true. It's how we're intertwined. Sometimes we all need to cry, 'cause the world's not always kind, and we all have hurt inside. Some midnights are long, it's all gone so wrong. When you feel you can't keep holding on, just know you're not alone, and sing these words with me into the unknown. Whole life is her song, and I wanna sing. Oh, there's a melody we only hear with open hearts, a song of sympathy where embers can ignite the dark, in love and fear through all your years. Just keep holding on, because life is a song. Life is a song. Life
Chris Ames, amazing. Thank you.
Chris Ames, I'm so moved. I'm so touched. I'm so inspired by you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, my neighbor. I love you. I love you. Well, we're going to head right in to the blessings and declarations portion of our show. That's where you all have something to say, and it would be either a blessing for anything, you know how to bless things, or a declaration, like a intention. We like to hear about, your intention, and when you declare your intention before your community of people who love you and would do anything to hold your feet to the fire, your intention is more easily, readily, and quickly fulfilled. So we encourage that, but also blessings are welcome. So anyway, who would like to offer a blessing or a declaration?
Over here.
Ah, goody, good. Ariana.
So my name is Ariana Mercury, and tonight I am Lady Alchemia reading Tarot in the Grey House. That is my declaration for the evening. So if you'd like to get a tarot reading with me, please sign up in the Grey House tonight. And also, I have a little blessing inspired by the light body. We are all connected, but we're not the same. We're individual particles acting as a wave.
Love that.
Ariana Mercury.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Right
Okay,
over here.
who else?
Should we go to this side?
You could.
Okay. I saw a
We
hand.
leave it up to
Where?
Alexa. You pick.
Okay. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Katie.
Hi, I'm Celeste, and this whole time that you guys were speaking, I was thinking about something I learned in Hinduism recently about Purusha, who is the embodiment of energy, and Prakriti, who's the embodiment of the material. And basically within the Big Bang, that's when they came together and created all of this. And throughout the universe, it's always separating and falling apart. But the second they're apart, they just want to be back together again and combine right back together again. And even though it's easy to say that we are only light and that's what we want to be, we're also material. And the perfection is the emulsification of the two. And that's my declaration, is to create that emulsification as perfectly as I can. And you guys demonstrate that so beautifully in both of your artwork.
Thank you. You're so good. Thank you. That's very sweet.
A+. Very good.
Yeah. Soul emulsification. Who would like to make a blessing or a declaration? Somebody over where
Take a couple
Alexa is, or
more.
on the other side?
Don't be shy.
There's
Autumn.
somebody.
I see Autumn.
Oh, now here's somebody right here on your way.
I'll hit you first.
And
well,
then-
I won't
and
hit
then-
you.
and then
I don't know why I
Autumn.
just
You
said
might
that.
as well.
I'll get you first, and then I'll come to you. Okay.
All right, go. Sit down, Alexa.
Yeah, so my name's Zachary Tyler. This is my second time being... my name's Zachary Tyler. This is my second time being blessed to be in the presence of such a beautiful number of people. And so my declaration is just to keep breaking generational curses. You know, they say the sins of the father pass on to the children. And, my spiritual awakening came as a result of AA, 12-step program. And it was...
Right
it
on.
was-
Awesome.
It really opened my eyes, and there was one thing I wanted to read from a Miyamoto Musashi. If you know the way broadly, you will see it in everything. And my awakening just really opened my eyes to so many different levels of, my spiritual awakening just opened my eyes to so many different levels of spiritual connections in my life that I just couldn't understand. And I'm just so grateful for God and people like you guys that just challenge the ways of thinking and just go against the grain, to not be afraid to just push, because that's what really helped me. And just seeing people go against and just to form the way. And you guys really embody that, and you you guys aren't afraid to just keep pushing ahead, and it shows. And
Thank you.
Thank you, my
That's
friend. Welcome back. Yeah.
That's very nice of you to notice. You have to just keep pushing ahead, one step at a time. And here's Autumn Sky, our incredible Autumn Sky. Everybody give a big hand for Autumn Sky. She is going to be painting tonight, so watch out for her.
And I wanted to say, Autumn Sky has a beautiful, an extraordinary painting down in the All One Gallery that I hope you'll see. It's called Light Work, thoroughly appropriate for tonight. And
she also has a new book out of her work, which is probably in the store somewhere, I hope, because it's a gorgeous book that she just created.
Art and soul.
she did such
It's
a good
extraordinary
job.
wisdom.
So well put together. You'll love sitting there.
Anyway,
But
Autumn Sky.
Autumn Sky.
Yeah.
No, we have to do that. I mean, she also, by the way, has a mural in the Mushroom Cafe. That I have to tell you, because you got to find her mural. When you go in there, you're waiting for your sandwich or something. Just figure it out. They're little guides
easy
in the
to see,
room.
though.
They're
Yeah.
guides in the room. But anyway, go.
It's
Yes.
the one that looks like the Pacific Northwest.
I can't hear you.
It's the one that looks like the Pacific Northwest. That gives you a clue.
Okay. It looks like it
Thank you
looks
both
autumn.
so much for your kind and generous words. I am so grateful to be a part of this family, and I'm so honored to be here and to share in this incredible time together. We had so much fun last week in the workshop, and I'm really looking forward to painting this evening and continuing on the piece that I started there. So, but what I would like to share, I'm not going to share any bad jokes because that's usually my style. I just wanted to offer a mantra that was told to me many years ago by this incredible woman, Brighthawk. And this mantra I have carried with me now for almost 20 years, and it has aided me in such a potent way, such a simple way, through very big transitions and challenges. And as this building is awaiting its beautiful clad of ornate magic, I just wanted to offer it to this community that we can collectively use. And we can also use in these big times of transition that we are in right now. So may it aid you to find your lost keys and to navigate monumental change in your life and to create epic temples. I am willing to be delightfully surprised at how easy it can be. I am willing to be delightfully surprised at how easy it can be.
One more time.
I am willing to be delightfully surprised at how easy it can be. Yeah.
I love it. Oh my God.
Thank you, Autumn.
Autumn Sky. One more thing I have to say about Autumn. Autumn and her beloved Neo are from Canada. They are from here all the way from Vancouver. So that's another reason why we so cherish your presence, because you come so far to be here with us. So now, Katie, do you have any folks out there in the wide world that have been? Katie's watching over all of the comments that are coming in from our stream, our broadcast. So she's got a lot of people, but she'll pick out a couple.
Perfect, yes. Happy full moon, everybody. There are some beautiful shares tonight. I thought I would read two. First, we have someone named the Peaceful Penguin. They wrote the definition of moon, which I thought was very sweet. Moon, as a noun, a heavenly body which revolves around the earth monthly. It's just a wonderful visual, isn't it? Allyson earlier said that we are moon appreciators, but that visual kind of made me feel like the moon is an earth appreciator. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Peaceful Penguin. And then we have Tom. Tom says he's putting together his first solo debut show of his poetry and music. Last stop on the thought train, he says, declaring my commitment to my artistic practice, focus, concentration, love, and care. Let's give Tom some love.
Oh, give Tom some love. And also, is it time for everybody to turn around and look at the camera and just
Yes.
wave at all the people that are out
Yes.
there? There may be hundreds of people out there.
Yes, there
Say
is.
hello.
Hi,
We love you in
everybody.
here. Okay, I'm sorry. So go
Yes,
ahead.
Thank you to the audiovisual team in the back. Give them some love.
Woo!
I think we have one more. I saw your hand up.
Okay.
We'll let you be our final. Take it away.
Awesome. My name's Cortland. I'm from Boston. And I used to go to New York a lot. And I used to go to the old spot a lot. And I went to your birthday celebration and the private walkthrough tour. And all of those times you guys talked about this place. And when you all announced the closing, I was dragging everybody there. And I was talking to somebody yesterday that was like, oh, I remember you took me and Jake there. And I had no recollection of it, but it imprinted on them because I brought so many people there. Wow. And so as a declaration, I wanted to say I want to make sure I actually keep coming back here because this is the first time. I want to declare my gratitude for my friend here who's never been, but she invited me to come tonight. And when I walked into the other room, it was like a flashback. It was like you guys literally transported the old space to right here, and it really crystallized like how much I actually missed it. You know what I mean? So it's great to be here. I want to continue to declare my idea to, after this talk particularly, to kind of visualize my own auras and everybody else's. And lastly, I wanted to declare my thanks to this brother right here for those 2 songs, because they were...
Weren't they beautiful? They were so beautiful. That goes here. Thank you, my friend. You know, that makes me say, you know, how many people for this is your first full moon at CoSM. How many people? In this space, this is your first full moon at CoSM. That's quite a few people. That's wonderful. We're so glad that you came. Thank you so much. How many people have been here before and brought somebody else? Yes. Yes, and you said you did too.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for that. You get a gold star. Well, I also want to say this. We're going to move on with another portion of the show, but if you have a declaration or a blessing, please make it a point to talk to somebody you've never spoken to before and tell it to them. I'm telling you, it's a way to connect and make community. So get to know people you haven't met before tonight, and take a chance to introduce yourself to people. That's just a lovely way to get to know the community. So we invite you to do that.
That's beautiful.
But here we are, you know, tonight we may be thinking of loved ones, maybe even ourselves, who might be suffering distress in body or mind. Every CoSM full moon, we take a few moments to turn inside and hold in our heart those that might benefit from a healing prayer. To strengthen this blessing, recall the name of your loved one as we pray.
Great Spirit, thank you for blessing us with this day and for our precious body and soul. We feel the light of Spirit shining in our hearts, and as we breathe, a glow expands to surround us like a luminous sphere.
The brightness in our hearts magnifies as we join together in a gleaming web with countless others around the world, a luminous net of beings. From the abundance of our combined energy field, we envision rays of healing light surrounding and protecting us, our friends, and family.
May the light shine on all who need healing. May Spirit renew each soul with creative power to rebuild stronger and weave peace and harmony across the earth. May the water, air, fire, and earth be purified, and the web of life be strong and resilient.
And together we say, Amen.
Some who are with us may be grieving the loss of a friend or family member. We send our deep condolences to all those who are in mourning. And we acknowledge the sacred space of sorrow and compassion that we carry for all who are suffering on our planet. Remembering the brevity of life, we appreciate the beauty of every precious day.
Almighty Spirit, we remember the souls of beloved ones who have passed on. Cherishing them in our heart, they remain close. To evoke their memory now, recall their names as we reflect together for a moment of silent prayer, sending a wave of love from our being to theirs. And together we say,
May
their memory be a blessing. Well, we are now going to bring back our sweet Alexa. We look forward to, we saw Alexa doing a performance this week. She's an incredible dancer. You wouldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I hope we dance tonight. I hope to see all y'all on the dance floor tonight. Yeah, we're gonna go on the dance floor tonight. Okay. Thank you so much for always holding an intentional moment like that. I think it's so essential to a ceremony and a beautiful way for us to come together.
Yeah.
And so thank you.
Beautiful. I loved it. I always love it. I
do
mean, because
too.
I always bring into my heart and out of my very quiet lips all the people that I have loved that have passed.
Right.
I say their name right out there in front of me, just a little bit. And it brings them into the room, I feel. Their
Totally.
spirit into the room, and I honor them, and I've been doing that ever since CoSM. So it's a great thing. 280 full moons
That's
ago.
amazing. 280 consecutive full moon ceremonies.
All right.
I mean, that's seriously significant.
It gives
That's
your
almost
life,
300. I mean, we're practically there.
it gives your life architecture. I'm just saying. You
Yeah.
drape everything around it. It becomes, like your skeletal system.
We love Luna.
Thank you.
We're so loyal to Luna. And we're going to celebrate Luna tonight, aren't we? It's going to be amazing. One more time for Chris Ames. Beautiful.
Chris
We love him.
Ames, whoa!
Beacon local. We love him. And we also have some incredible locals from Beacon tonight. Give it up for, I'm super jazzed about him, Telepathic Moon Dance. Very fitting
Moon
name.
Dance, woo!
Such a fitting name for a place like CoSM. They're a sonic blend of funk, house, jazz fusion, and world music. We love to have them out once a year, and lucky for you, you showed up on the right night. So
is
we're going to
such a
get
great
down to
night.
that. Yeah, Entheon's going to be open till about 11, so hang out here, but definitely make your way over and meet me on the dance floor because it's going to be groovy in the Gray House. As mentioned, we have some wonderful featured artists tonight as well. Autumn Sky, Dan Dos Santos, Izzy Ivy, and Dylan Vaughn are here. So they're going to be pushing pigments, doing some cool stuff over in the Gray House. Lady Alchemia. Oh, she disappeared. She's on her way over to do
Getting
some
set up.
tarot. That was amazing. Is she even real? She is, and you can get a tarot reading from her, 15 minutes per session. Sign up for that in the Gray House shop. Woo is right. I don't know who said that, but I'm about it. Yeah, you get it. We also have the bonfire, because that rain, no complaining over here for that rain, because that rain's gone, and we are going. Well, actually, I don't know if it's raining. We've been in here this entire time. But according to the forecast, We have that bonfire blazing. It's going to start right when the ceremony ends. We have some wonderful fire performers as well. So definitely hang out outside. We'll have the music from Telepathic Moon Dance piping out through the whole Gray House and outside as well. We have the Mushroom Cafe. Who's been in there already? We love the Mushroom Cafe. They got vegan options, vegetarian options, normal, regular options. They got curry bowls. We got baked goods, cacao, water. Drink water tonight. We love that. We have yerba mate. I mean, there's a whole menu that you can look at when you head to the cafe. So definitely check that out, especially the curry. I give a shout out to the curry every time. Yeah, this guy gets it.
It's a
Chef's
winner.
Kiss. It's a winner.
No complaints whatsoever.
Thanks to Charlie, head chef. We love Charlie.
We do. Our kitchen
Ralph.
staff is awesome. But we have a creative community activity, don't we?
We absolutely do, because we are a place that encourages creativity as a spiritual path, as you know. So we have an interactive art table in the parlor. If you sign up for a tarot reading, it'll be in the same room. You can wait for your turn and put a little drawing on there. Sign your name on there if you want. It's going to be wonderful.
Sit on down and be with the neighbors and maybe chat or maybe have it to yourself, whatever you do.
You're not going anywhere. You're
Make
not
some
going
art.
to bed or anything, right? You'll be here.
Yes, I
We're
too.
here all night.
I like to sit. I like to sit in the library, and if you would like to speak with me, first we hang out here. So come on over, tell us your blessings and declarations, and we'll also meet you over at the Gray House, probably around the library somewhere.
Yeah.
And then at the dance floor, of course, always at the end. I always hit the
have to.
dance floor.
It's a necessity.
Gotta.
You must get down with your bad self, okay? So we'll see you over there.
But do
We have a
that.
lot of great things coming up in the queue. We just started First Free Fridays, which is amazing. You hear that alliteration right there? First Free Fridays, which is free entry to Entheon and CoSM. We did it this past Friday because it's the first Friday of the month. So in July, we're going to do it again. And then we'll do it again in August. And then
Keep
September
doing it.
and
It's going to
October.
be our thing.
So on and so forth. You get the pattern. So definitely tell your friends about that if there are people that are like, I don't really know about CoSM, and they're kind of interested and intrigued. That's a good
Or they
time
just
to bring
happen to
them.
be coming in on Friday. Lucky them.
The first one. That first free Friday. Great. We also have Art Church tomorrow, which is with you two. A beautiful, intimate setting.
Our church. Oh,
Tell
we
us
love
about
it
it.
so much. Well, you're there too, and you love it so much
we
too. We
love
all
it.
make art together is what
Yep.
it is. So if you're around or you're in the neighborhood or you're staying over for the night, which I hope you have a great time in this area. But we are doing Art Church from, what,
3 to
5. And we meet in the classroom, the art lab, we call it. And we listen to music. And we're going to be talking about the light force, light body. And we're going to make art together about it. And then we're going to talk about it with people out as far away as they get,
Yep.
Australia. And we have the outside audience and the inside audience. So it's really fun. And we talk about our art.
And the light. I've
it.
seen the light. I've lost my
Make
lighter.
some art with us, we have materials there if you need them. But you can also bring your own fun materials.
You guys make a stellar music playlist every time.
We
which
have,
we send
but
the
the
link
light, there's so much great music about the light. It's almost been
true.
hard to decide, but it's really been fun.
to. So come on out for that. We're going to head to Denver in 2 weeks for Psychedelic Science. Is anybody else going to be in Denver for Psychedelic Science? Sick. We got
I'm
one
gonna
whole
be there.
person. We have 2, 3,
What?
4.
We're going to be there. No,
That's
we're
gonna be
representing.
amazing.
Johnny and Alex and I are going to be representing CoSM over
Yeah.
there. But we're going to have some people that were friends of ours that are going to be doing the booth. And we got a couple of cosmonauts.
in the booth.
You're coming with
I'll
us.
be there.
Yeah, you'll be there. And TJ's going to be there. So we have people that'll watch our booth.
Yeah, we got the Portal Dome too,
The
which
Portal
will be
Dome.
doing the U.S. debut of the 360-degree Entheon experience. If you were at Tool in the Sand, maybe you saw it. So there'll be a discussion there too. It's going to be trippy. So we're very excited about that. And, we have the full moon tonight, but we also have our summer solstice. This is a double-header month where we got Parangi and Aerothyme as our musical guests. I don't know if anyone's coming back out for summer solstice, but that's going to be amazing.
We are so
very
glad that you
excited.
came tonight.
I know,
But
I'm getting
there's
ahead of
this
myself.
event that happens every year that turns out to be the most attended event. So we're glad you're here with us tonight because this is a more intimate event, and we want to get to know all of you.
Yes.
That's what. And we want you all to get to know each other. It's really ripe for that. But next week, if you want to come back, or 2 weeks from now, if you want to come back, it's the summer solstice. And yeah, we got Frankie.
We just keep that calendar
The
locked.
airtime.
You know what I'm saying? We keep that calendar locked and loaded because we do the full moons, but we also are an educational space, as we've mentioned. Autumn just did a wonderful class. Dan Dos Santos did a wonderful class today. We have figure drawing next Saturday. All those dates are up for the rest of the year. We have Sacred Geometry in August with David Heskin and Aloria Weaver. Cloud Chords doing producing and performing electronic music and visionary guitar playing. We have Ka June, who's going to be doing headdress making. I mean,
We have a lot of offerings, and you can find them all at CoSM.org.
on our website.
Yeah.
They're all for you.
Yeah.
And for us too.
But I really do recommend that everybody take a moment at the summer solstice. Just because you're here, I'm saying the next thing, just take a moment and appreciate the unity of that moment with so many all over the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's why we like to get together on the full moon.
Amen.
That's exactly right.
Alexei, you're give us have they sold out tomorrow? It's a performance, do you
what?
think?
Oh, the one that I'm in Newburgh?
Yeah.
It is sold out.
Okay.
Actually, there's a dance show, Passion, the adult dance studio in Beacon. It's amazing.
It's in Beacon,
We're
yeah.
doing a full showcase at Newburgh Brewing Company.
66 performers.
Yeah, there's twerking, so.
And there's twerking.
I love
two
it.
CoSM staff members are involved. And it was so beautiful. Just about all of us went to see
It was
them
amazing.
perform. And it's happening again. So don't miss them when they do this again. I'm telling you.
Oh
just
my
right
gosh,
now.
you're so sweet.
If
Thank
you're in
you
the
so
neighborhood,
much.
it's such a fun night. It's
Take
so
care of
fun.
each other. If you need anything, we have a dedicated peer support person that's here to assist you. We have water stations all over. Find someone with a staff badge if you need anything at all. I'm going to pass it to you two for the final benediction, and let's get jiggy with it.
Take care of
Ready?
each other, okay? Take care
Thank
of
you.
each other tonight. Watch over and just have fun. Have so much fun. So here we are. This is it.
Okay. Dedication to love. From the core of our hearts, we dedicate ourselves to the complete and full expression of love in all our activities and in all our relationships.
Love is the soul's medicine, a refuge in our hearts, protecting us from utter despair. Finding compassion in the eyes of the beloved and the stranger gives us the courage to endure.
May love sensitize us with care and wisdom. May love help heal the sickness and wounds of life. May love enable us to forgive and accept ourselves.
May love enable us to forgive and accept each other. May love help us overcome our cruelty and bitterness, our greed and jealousy, our ignorance and delusion.
May love rule our hearts and minds, directing us to reach out, doing our best to benefit others, to heal suffering, to give gifts, to create beauty in the infinite network that is our world.
A heart of loving kindness pours creative grace into the world to alleviate pain and mend the heart net. To the healing art of love, we dedicate ourselves.
May any merit
merit
generated by this gathering be offered to the benefit and liberation of all beings. Happy full moon.